eat. The inhabitants must migrate, hibernate, or face months of near starvation. The Amur leopard, the rarest cat in the world. Here, in the deciduous forests of eastern Russia, the winter makes hunting very difficult. Prey animals are scarce, and there's no concealing vegetation. The cub is a year old and still dependent on its mother. Deer are frequent casualties of the harsh winter, and these leopards are not above scavenging from a corpse. African leopards could never survive here, but the Russian cats have thick fur to shield them from the cold. There are only 40 Amur leopards left in the wild, and that number is falling. Like so many creatures, the cats have been pushed to the very edge of extinction by hunting and the destruction of their habitat. The Amur leopard symbolizes the fragility of our natural heritage. The future of an entire species hangs on the survival of a tiny number of mothers like this one. All animals, rare or common, ultimately depend for their energy on the sun. In Japan, the arrival of the cherry blossom announces the beginning of spring. The sun's energy brings colour to the landscape. The Earth, as it makes its annual journey around the sun, spins on a tilted axis, and it's this tilt that creates the seasons. The advance of the seasons brings constant change. As the sun's influence diminishes in the north, so the deciduous forests of America begin to shut down, losing their leaves in preparation for the dark, cold months ahead. One season hands over to another. Some organisms thrive on decay, but most must make special preparations for winter and a life with little sun. Whole populations of animals are now forced to travel great distances in pursuit of food and warmth. "300,000 Baikal teal gather to escape from the Siberian winter by migrating south to Korea. The world's entire population in a single flock. But there are parts of the world that have no seasons. In the tropics, the sun's rays strike the earth head-on, and their strength is more or less constant all year round. That is why the jungle grows so vigorously and supports so much life. This forest covers only 3% of the planet's surface, but it contains more than 50% of all its plants and animals. The canopy is particularly rich. There are monkeys, birds, and millions of species of insects. Exactly how many, we have no idea. The character of the forest changes as you descend, becoming ever darker and damper, favouring different kinds of animals and plants. Less than 2% of the sunlight reaches the floor, but even here there is extraordinary variety. In the great island of New Guinea, there are 42 different species of birds of paradise, each more bizarre than the last. This forest is so rich that nourishing food can be gathered very quickly. That leaves the male six-plumed bird of paradise with time to concentrate on other matters, like tidying up his display area. Everything must be spick and span. All is ready. Very impressive, but no one is watching.